How we doing, everybody? How we doing? Today is Monday, March the 15th, 2021. Just coming to you this afternoon for the Real Estate Lunch Talk. If you have any questions, you've seen something in the news, you've heard something in regards to real estate investing, we're here to kind of, offer our knowledge, things that we know in order to help people make better decisions, get some clarity on things. We also like to bring up to date news and articles that we've read that may affect investors as well as homeowners. So we'll go through maybe a couple of articles that I saw that caught my attention, and I thought would be something that people would want to know. So that's the purpose of the Real Estate Lunch Talk, is just to spend a few moments, trying to answer questions and bringing, some information that maybe you don't know, haven't heard of, haven't been following like we do, and can help you in making an investing decision or a home buying or selling decision. We're available Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. We try to take the questions and bring the relevant news of the day or that week or something that we've seen within the last few days. And then we come back on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. We focus on note investing at the 8 p.m. on Mondays. And on Wednesdays, we focus in on self-directed IRAs and why that's a good investment tool, investment vehicle to use when you're looking to invest in real estate. And so we try to bring certain information about the self-directed to give people more information about that. Hopefully people are finding value with it. If you go to the YouTube channel, Abundant Capital Group, you'll see a few different videos there of past topics that we've covered, just to give you, an initial, some basic information in regards to it to maybe, get you thinking about going down that route. I know a lot of people have lost their jobs due to coronavirus, and they may have a 401k at the company that they left. They still are entitled to use that money, and they could put it in a self-directed IRA to make some investments. So we feel that is relevant during this particular time. Some good information. So that on Mondays we focus on real estate note investing. We try to talk about how to invest in real estate notes, why you would want to do it, some of the opportunities that are out there. And then on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. we focus in on the self-directed IRA and helping people use their IRA to invest, hopefully in real estate. But there are some other things that you can invest with a self-directed IRA. So, that's the purpose of us being here, just spending a few moments. If you have a lunch break, something like that, we try to make ourselves available. If if you think about something, have a question, that you can maybe come here and get it answered in real time. If not, if you type it into the comments or something like that, we will get back to you with an answer. But we just, like I said, spend a few minutes. We usually don't go longer than about a half an hour, just depending on how many questions we get. But we usually don't go but 20 to 30 minutes, just trying to make ourselves available. And the knowledge that we've gained over the years being in real estate, we definitely can tell you what not to do and hopefully steer you in the right direction, whether you're a traditional buyer or seller, or if you are looking to get in on the investing side of things. So, we are looking for sellers. We are trying to help sellers who have been hurt during the COVID time. We're trying to offer them some solutions to their housing issue. If it's a multifamily or if it's a single family, We really like to talk to people and see if we can give them a few different options on what to do with the property. I think that a lot of people now are just kind of riding it out, so to speak, with the forbearance and the different plans that are out there. But during this time, I think we all need to, come up with some type of plan, on what to do with the particular property. And there are some things that you can do to save your credit, to possibly, make you some money, just depending on your situation. So, we are trying to reach out to sellers and talk to sellers, or people that have homes that are thinking about selling and don't know right now. Try to give them some options on what may work best for them. So we are doing that. We've reached out, we have talked to someone, and we're in the process of doing a deal with this particular person, helping them with their particular property. So hopefully we'll have more information about that soon. We're just trying to get everything lined up so we can get it closed and be able to help this person out. So, that's what we are looking to do right now. And then again, we are looking to speak to individuals who have made some capital through, the stock market, things of that nature, whatever investments you've had. Maybe you are in real estate and got some money from doing a fix and flip or something like that, some type of deal where now you have some cash and you'd like to see it, working better for you, maybe getting a higher rate of interest or above average rate of return. We are looking to talk to those people, show them how real estate notes is an opportunity where you can get some good returns passively, not having to do much, just sit back and collect a check, becoming the bank, so to speak. So we are, if you know people like that, have an interest, and you don't have to have a tremendous amount of money either. This is for people who have maybe lower balances in a IRA or some type of account, and you want to try and get it out there and get it working. We are looking to reach out to those folks and talk to those people. So if anybody knows someone like that, please reach out, and we'd love to talk to you and show you how you can get some better rates of return on your money. So that's what we're doing right now and looking to do. So if anybody wants to join us and help us do this, we definitely would want to talk to you and see how we could work together and make that money work harder for you, work better for you, or help you out with your current situation when it comes to housing due to what's been going on over the last year. So with that being said, there were a couple of articles that I saw that caught my attention, and just want to kind of go over them or talk about them a little bit. This first one says home sellers looking toward record profits. So like we've talked about on other videos here, there is a lack of supply in terms of the number of houses on the market, and there is a high demand. Many people are getting qualified for mortgages and would like to buy a home. So when you have these two, this is why sellers are getting record profits. So it says just weeks away from the start of the spring buying season, U.S. home buyers looking to sell will earn record gains. CoreLogic's home equity report for Q4, which is quarter number 4 of 2020, shows that homeowners with mortgages, which account for roughly 62% of all properties, have seen their equity rise by 16.2%. That's a large gain from one year to another. A gain of $1.5 trillion in equity. $1.5 trillion plus in equity, and an average gain of $26,300 per homeowner. So, again, that's why we want to talk to people who, have been affected by COVID. And, if they do have this plan to just wait it out, so to speak, and, these forbearance plans and wait till they expire and then, go into bankruptcy and everything, I really don't know if that's the best strategy for individuals to do that. I think also that the banks, what they're probably going to do is all these people that are in forbearance, a high percentage of these people, they're going to package up these loans and then they're going to sell them into the secondary market as opposed to going through some type of foreclosure or having to do anything like that or wait until somebody wants to start dealing with the issue. I think that is what's going to happen. And then once it gets to the secondary market, people are going to be reaching out and see about doing loan modifications and things of that nature with the property. But then again, that will depend on your financial situation as the home buyer. I mean, if the numbers make sense, a loan modification could go into effect. Now, is that going to be $200 difference in your payment, or is it going to be $800 to $1,000 difference in your payment? We really don't know until, obviously these people who are going to buy these mortgages, when the banks pool them together and sell them off, they're going to have to look at what they paid for an asset and what makes sense for them in terms of receiving payment from you. So hopefully it could work out where one or both people in the household are making enough money where it makes sense to do a loan modification. But there's no guarantee with that. And, if they don't do the loan modification, they have every right to then take back the property. So, if you are someone that is waiting, so to speak, until you have to make a move or, when this forbearance stops, if you're doing that, you really want to get everything in order as to what you can afford. What is going to be your, what could you afford to pay? You want to know that information and be prepared when people reach out to you. Tell them I can afford $1,500 as opposed to, the $2,000 I was paying. And here's my information that proves my income and things of that nature. So, but when it comes to this particular article, it's surprising that more people are not selling. But I guess it makes sense because, if you do sell, where are you gonna go live? Are you gonna buy another house, even though you've gotten a lot more equity and your house went up in value, so to speak? Are you gonna rent a place or kind of go out here and compete with all these people who are overpaying? So, it makes sense why some people aren't selling, and then obviously for a long time we were concerned about coronavirus, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people still are, but, if you know that you have this equity and sitting on this equity, then why not take advantage of it? And again, it's like, well, where are these people going to go, so to speak? So, I mean, it's good on one sense for a seller. You know that you're going to get a good price for your house if you do put it out there, but then, where are you going to go? Are you going to be able to stay in the same area, paying rent if you decide for an apartment, or will you even be able to afford to buy another house based on the equity that you have in your property? So, there's a couple of different ways of looking at it, but there are record profits that are going out there, and it's very surprising when you have COVID and everything else that has been going on, but that is what's happening right now. So it's very interesting for, sellers, more so for home sellers and home buyers. Buyers can expect to overpay. Maybe you want to, if you have qualified for a $300,000 house, maybe you only want to look at $25 to $250,000 homes, and then you'll know that you'll have to overbid for those. Or if you're in the $300,000 range, you know that you're gonna have to put more money down because you're probably gonna have to pay $325, $330, $340 for that $300,000 property. So there's pros and cons to, this market depending on what side you're on. So it's a very strange market, and one that investors haven't seen this particular market, where you have a pandemic and you have the high unemployment, but you have the skyrocketing home prices. So let's see what we have here. It says lenders growing cautious about profitability. I think this from the investor or the note side of things is an important article, because there's going to be an opportunity for note investors, people who create notes on properties, to get more people in homes, because lenders, like it says here, are growing cautious about profitability. When they write loans, they want to make sure that it's profitable for that institution that's writing them. And in certain price ranges and things of that nature, it's not necessarily profitable for a lender to write a mortgage for a property that's under $100,000, under $50,000. And there are a lot of markets across the country where homes are between $50,000, $80,000, $75,000, $100,000. And this is going to create an opportunity for note investors to create notes, for one, and then be able to sell partials or sell the full note of that to recapitalize, on your investment. So this is definitely something that, as a note investor, and that's what I've been trying to talk about and get people to focus on. There's going to be some opportunities in a lot of these markets where you're going to have people who are qualified and can get into home with good down payments, and they're still working and everything like that. And the banks, just don't see it being worth their time to write mortgages, in those price ranges. So that's why, I wanted to talk about this. And another reason why getting into the note space and, looking for those particular opportunities in those areas is probably going to increase, I would say over the next year or 2 years, something like that. And probably longer than that, because just in this price, certain price ranges, a lot of lenders stay away from, those lower priced areas and things of that nature. And they focus on the New York Cities, the New Jerseys, Los Angeles, and, Chicago, big markets like that. It's more profitable for them. So, that just goes along with my, with trying to get people to look into notes and note investing. And then two, you create more attention, you create more opportunity for your particular property if you do offer seller financing on it. More people are going to be attracted to that particular property, and that can only drive up the price, so to speak, for what it is that you're trying to sell. So that's why note investing is a big thing, and why we're trying to really push people to look in this space and take advantage of some of these opportunities. The forbearance activity rate dips under 5%. The forbearance report from Black Knight McDash Flash Forbearance Tracker showed the largest week-to-week decline in forbearance activity since early January. Active plans dropped 77,000 overall in the week ending Tuesday, March 9th. As of Tuesday, March 9th, 2.6 million homeowners remained in forbearance, which represents 4.9% of all mortgagees. This also marks the first time the forbearance rate has dipped below 5% since early April 2020. What's impacting the numbers? Black Knight's Andy Walden reports that the week's improvement was due to a combination of the February month-end expirations, so those forbearance agreements that were expiring in February, as well as the proactive extension and or removal of borrowers who are set to see their plans expire. So seems like this is more about the plans expiring, not necessarily people getting back to work and starting to pay. And again, that's 2.6 million. So like I was saying earlier, I think out of that 2.6 million, maybe a million or close to a million or just over a million, somewhere in that range, banks are going to pull these people that were in forbearance and try to sell those loans off. And then it's going to be up to the secondary market to kind of deal with getting these people back on track or taking back the property, whatever the case may be, whatever, the homeowner decides to do. And again, not so much what they decide to do, but what are they in a position to do? Are they really in a position to get back on track and start paying? The money that they've not been paying, have they been saving that up? That's why note investors, if you can go back to them, you get some of this paper once it comes down to the secondary market. Somebody may be sitting on $15,000, $20,000, and you bought a note. You can get that. You say, we can get you back on track, but you're going to have to show us that, that first that you can pay, and then, is there some money that you can give us in terms of a lump sum? Can you give us $5,000? Can you give us $10,000? And then we'll restructure the loan for you. So then you start to recapitalize some of that money right away, plus the monthly income. So these are all reasons why, we feel that note investing is something that people need to look into and to really consider as an investment opportunity. Obviously, if you're on the other side of it in terms of fixing and flipping, there's probably not a lot of inventory. And if there is inventory, the price gets driven up. How many people are really at 70%, 75% of value minus the repairs on a foreclosure? So you can fix it up to sell it. And if those margins are becoming tighter, what people can do is, again, on the note side, you can buy it, you can fix it up, and then you can sell it with seller financing at a premium price, but you just have to wait a certain amount of time before you get cashed out of it. And then a lot of times with fixer and flippers, they usually borrow money for maybe 12 months. But if you can get, a little bit more favorable terms, or what you can do is fix it up, maybe rehab it and just pay off the loan, and then sell it to someone with seller financing, give them maybe 2-3 years to get qualified. Maybe you can do that. And that's just because the numbers are so tight when you're purchasing. If you can find REOs nowadays, the REO inventory is less and less right now because, again, the banks aren't allowed to foreclose on it, so a lot of stuff is in a holding pattern. And then how much of it will kind of become REO out of 2.6 million? I don't think the banks want to foreclose on 500,000 people. Not to say that there won't be some opportunity. I just don't think there's going to be a tremendous REO opportunity out there, moving forward. There will be some deals and some things that you can buy. But then again, you have to look at the margins. Where are you buying at? Is the market going to stay as hot as it is when you do fix it up? When they start to allow the foreclosures to hit the market, is that going to be the same time where the market shifts, and now you're not going to get $20,000-$30,000 over asking because the market is shifting? So these are all things that you have to think about. If you are an investor and looking to do something in that arena. But again, there's other strategies that you can use to exit properties and make them even more profitable, because by using the note strategy or seller financing, you have three profit centers. You have the initial down payment, a non-refundable deposit, or down payment on the property. You get the monthly cash flow. Then you get a lump sum on the back end once the property is sold. So when you take into consideration all of those, and you don't pay commissions and a lot of the other fees associated with selling a property, you're actually making, more money, over time. So, if that works for someone, great. Other people look for those, big checks one time, and that's, what they want, and that's fine. You know what I mean? That works for them, that's great. But there's another way to kind of look at this. And even if you are a homeowner, you can look at it from this too. Maybe you don't have a whole lot of equity. Maybe you only got 5 to 10% equity. Maybe you can look at this strategy to still, get the benefits of writing off the mortgage and creating terms for someone else to live in the property. Have them pay your mortgage, and then once they get qualified, now you've steady paid down the debt on the property over that particular time, and so now your equity is not just 5 or 10%, maybe now it's 15 or 20% over the time that person is in the property. So it's just something to think about and to consider, especially with people that have situations because of COVID, and you bought a property and it doesn't have that much equity. Maybe you can use this strategy, or if you have a house free and clear and you don't want to get taxed like crazy when you do sell it, you can kind of spread out the tax liability by creating seller financing on the property and getting those 3 profit centers. Again, you get an initial down payment, you get monthly cash flow, and then once the property is sold, you get another, you get more money. You get another significant chunk of money. And then a lot of times you can sell the properties again for more money by doing it this way. And you can build in your own appreciation, so to speak, and your own value, because people are more concerned about the payment, not necessarily the price of the house when you're looking at doing seller financing. As long as they can make that payment, they're good, and then they know that they have some time in order to get qualified and get the loan paid off that you created. And a lot of times what's going to happen is that interest rate that they get once they get qualified through a bank and pay you off, their mortgage most likely is going to drop, because the interest rate a lot of times is going to be lower through a traditional bank than it would with someone who creates these terms. So could be a win-win for both sides. You as the person providing it, and then obviously the buyer, giving them a little bit of time. And, once they do cash out of the property, so to speak, by obtaining a new loan, they may be able to save some money monthly as well. So I hope that was, some good information, or information that made sense. If you'd like to know more about it, please reach out to us, 973-475-8488. You can send me an email at acg@abundantcapitalgroup.com. And we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Abundant Capital Group. Please try to follow us there. Like I said, we put these videos up a couple of days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. And then Mondays and Wednesdays we come back on at night at 8 p.m. as well. So hopefully this stuff is making sense, and you'd like to know more, maybe move in the direction of the note industry and using your retirement account or other accounts to leverage to invest. There's ways that you can leverage that money to invest as well. So, and if you need any help, if you're a seller or a homeowner and you want to discuss, different options, please reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you and be able to be a resource to help. That's our main thing, is to help people, especially now. So with that being said, I'm going to take off. It's been just about 30 minutes, so I'll see you back here on Wednesday, or if you want to meet me back here tonight, 8 p.m., we'll be talking about note investing. Have a good night. Peace.